In 1964, The Twilight Zone aired an episode that would vanish from syndication for more than 50 years. This story wasn't like most others in the series. There were no aliens, no time loops, no distant planets. Instead, it was an intimate, psychological drama set entirely in a dusty attic, where two men bound by history and prejudice found themselves trapped in a confrontation neither of them could escape. What unfolded over the next 25 minutes was so controversial that CBS banned it for decades. Now, let's get into it. Fantasy, sci-fi, horror, rerun zone. The Encounter, 1964. In a dusty attic filled with forgotten relics, an aging World War II veteran named Fenton stumbles upon an old Japanese sword, a weapon he took from a soldier he killed 2 decades earlier. The blade has an eerie presence. No matter how many times he's tried to sell it, toss it, or give it away, it always finds its way back. The Encounter is episode 31 from the 5th season of The Twilight Zone. It stands out as one of the series' most provocative and controversial installments. The episode opens in an attic cluttered with war memorabilia, helmets, medals, and old uniforms, each one a fragment of the past that the man who owns them, Fenton, can't seem to let go of. Played by Neville Brand, Fenton is a grizzled World War II veteran, drinking in the middle of the day, lost in ghostly memories. Enter Arthur Takamori, a polite, soft-spoken young Japanese-American gardener, played by George Takei in one of his earliest television roles. Arthur arrives looking for work, but soon the interaction between the two men turns from casual to tense. Fenton, at first friendly, soon grows bitter. His drunkenness brings out an ugly side of the man. He shares a story with Takamori, proudly displaying a samurai sword he claims to have taken from a Japanese soldier he killed in combat. The blade carries an inscription. It says, "The sword will avenge me." From the moment the encounter aired on May 1st, 1964, it sparked controversy. While The Twilight Zone was known for tackling difficult subjects, this episode struck a nerve, especially given the real-life history of the internment of Japanese Americans during World War II. Takamori takes the blade in his hands and soon finds there's something very unusual about it, as if it has a presence of its own. His mind is suddenly filled with violent thoughts. He whispers, "I'm going to kill him, but why?" He tries to leave the attic, but the door won't budge. It's stuck, locked tight without explanation. The air is thick as their conversation goes from war stories to confessions, showing wounds that have never truly healed. Fenton admits that the soldier he took the sword from was actually trying to surrender when he killed him. Takamori reveals that his father was a traitor during World War II, signaling the Japanese planes where to bomb during the attack on Pearl Harbor. Then it happens. The confrontation turns physical. In the struggle, the sword lodges into a wooden support. Takamori, lost in the moment, pulls at Fenton's legs, sending the old soldier falling straight onto the blade. As Fenton gasps his last breath, Takamori grabs the sword, lets out a cry, and leaps from the attic window. Moments later, the door downstairs, locked tight just minutes ago, slowly creeps open. The blade's destiny has been fulfilled. What makes the encounter even more haunting is the history behind its actors. Neville Brand, who played Fenton, wasn't just an actor playing a soldier. He had actually served in World War II. He was a highly decorated combat veteran, awarded the Silver Star for bravery. His portrayal of Fenton, a man burdened by the things he had done, wasn't just acting, it came from experience. And for George Takei, who played Arthur Takamori, the story had personal weight. As a child, he and his family were among the thousands of Japanese Americans sent to internment camps by the US government during World War II. The wounds of that era were still fresh, and for many, the episode's depiction of Arthur's father reinforced negative stereotypes instead of challenging them. CBS received a lot of backlash after the episode aired and decided to pull the encounter from its syndication package, making it the only episode of The Twilight Zone to ever be banned completely from the airwaves. For over 50 years, it remained unseen by American audiences, only resurfacing on January 1st, 2016, when it was finally shown as part of a Twilight Zone marathon on the Sci-Fi network. Though it was buried for over half a century, the encounter is still one of the Twilight Zone's most thought-provoking and unsettling episodes. It asks difficult questions. Can the sins of the past ever be put to rest? Do we inherit the ghosts of those who came before us? And what happens when we're forced to confront the truths that we've tried to bury? If you've never seen The Encounter, it's definitely worth watching, not just as a piece of television history, but as a story that still has something to say. Whether you agree or disagree, leave your thoughts in the comments below. And if you like classic TV, movies, and nostalgia, you're going to love it here at Rerun Zone. So make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. This is Rich from Rerun Zone wishing you a good night.